This is Hayden from SHC and today I'm very lucky to be joined over Zoom by Taylor Jordan ahead of his fight on February 10th at the Brentwood Centre in Essex on the top tier card. So yeah, mate, how have you been over Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah, same old, really. Just obviously been in the gym for well, pretty much all of it, hence the fight being pretty close. So yeah, it's been a quiet Christmas and New Year.
What I wanted to start with is how did you first get into boxing, and yeah, what's your earliest memory in boxing and how did you first get into it?
So God, I must have been about 11 years old. Started at Dagenham Boxing Club. My mum actually took me. So yeah, that was my first ever experience. I was at Dagenham for quite some time. Had a number of gym shows from quite a few amateur fights. Yeah, that was the beginning of it really. Before I moved on to other amateur clubs.
Okay, so what was your amateur career like?
A little bit up and down. I mixed it up with some good kids and also got beat by some not so very good kids. I had good and bad days. I think I was at about 50 amateur fights. I've done all right. Won a London's a couple of times. Went and boxed overseas twice. So it was a good experience.
Okay, so then obviously turning over to pro, how did you find that transition and how was your pro career?
I much preferred it to be honest, the pros. Like as you can see by my record, I won them all, but very inactive, inconsistent. I had a lot of other stuff going on outside of boxing, so it was hard to fully commit myself to boxing. So I had a break from it, which turned out to be a lot longer than anticipated, but I think has actually worked in my favour. It's done me the world of good.
Yeah, so then obviously with this upcoming fight, you're coming back into boxing and your fourth fight, am I right in saying? On
Yeah,
February 10th, obviously at the Brentwood Centre in Essex on the top tier card. So yeah, how
yeah.
did that sort of come about and how did the decision how did you make the decision that you wanted to come back to boxing?
I always knew, even that, like when I weren't in the gym, I've always like done little bits and bobs and stayed involved with it. But actually getting back to fighting, I always knew that I wasn't fully retired. Like I weren't done boxing. I always knew I had a little bit left in me to give, or wanted one final stab at it. So which sort of has led us to now. I end up having two kids, bought my house and stuff. So all the important stuff, like the main stresses that were taking me away from boxing, and now been dealt with, and it sort of led us back to now. I've partnered up with Will and hoping to put on a performance on the 10th.
100%, mate. So what I want to also ask you is how's training been for this fight and has it been different to your other fights before? Obviously having that time off of boxing, or have you been training in that time, but not obviously like training camps or anything, but have you been training in the time that you've been away from boxing?
Yeah, I've tried to do little bits and bobs. Done like competing in a little triathlon and like a couple of other little sporting events, and tried to keep my hand in a bit, but not as much as I would have liked to, like with work and things taking over. Um, yeah, this time around is definitely different, because I'm a bit more grown up now. I think I've matured as a person, so training is taken a lot more seriously. No corners are being cut. I just think I've got a wiser head on my shoulders, which is going to benefit me for sure. Yeah, I'm actually I have a new kind of respect and love for the sport that's grown from having that time away. So hopefully it benefits me as I think it will.
That's good to hear, mate. So obviously with this upcoming fight, do you know who your opponent is? Because I couldn't really find anything on your opponent. Do you know who it is? And if not, when do you
Um,
think you will find out?
yeah, do you know what? It's quite bad. I've been told his name. I've forgotten it. It's a guy from Merseyside in Liverpool. Um, his first fight back. Listen. I don't want to overlook or underestimate or anyone feel that I'm taking a piss out of him. But hopefully we just get the job done and start moving on to some better, more promising fights.
Yeah, so that sort of leads me on to my next question, and that's if you get the win on February 10th, where do you think you want to go from there? And obviously, with fighting on top tier, do you think that's something that you want to continue doing? And yeah.
Yeah, working with so obviously if we get the even if we don't get the win, listen, I'm confident. I know we're hoping for a busy year. We're planning to try and have 4 fights this year. Simon Legg, who's managing me, and Will, you know, we want to stay busy. I'll be in the gym all year round. So yeah, that's the plan, is to stay busy. I, I don't really, I don't. I just want to stay active and see what materializes. I think I'm more than capable of boxing at English to Southern Area title level at super middle. Anything after that, you know, is we roll with it and see what comes.
So that's what leads me on to my next question again, and that's what do you think your end goal would be in boxing, and what do you want to achieve in your career?
It'd be nice to win some sort of title. I don't want to try and run before I can walk. I've had a long time out, so I'll slowly work my way back to it. But I think an English title or a Southern Area is more than achievable.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So obviously, with this top tier card, apart from your fight, which fight would you say you're most looking forward to?
Uh, Will Hamilton, I'd like to watch him, you know, and see him continuously progressing in the sport. He's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for quite a while now. So I'm interested in seeing what he can do on fight night, and also obviously main event. And I think Ozzy's always quite an interesting person to watch. He's quite normally quite fiery, his fights. So yeah, hopefully as long as something crowd pleasing.
100%, mate. So have you got anything you want to promote, say for your Instagram, anything like that?
Nothing at the moment. I just obviously like my to say a quick thanks to my sponsors that have helped get me to where I am today. You know, help paying for training camps, nutrition, and the list is endless. But yeah, Essex Pitch, SEE Services, Lennon Electrics, Oak Construction, and Be Superhuman as well. I don't think I've missed anyone. But yeah, if it weren't for them, you know, it'd be a lot tougher to get to where we are now.
So that's all the questions I have for you, but thanks so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I hope we can definitely do it again sometime. And yeah, best of luck with your fight, mate.
Top man, appreciate it. Thanks very much.